YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. Yep, I took a night off. We had an awesome community night stream. If y'all haven't gone back and watched the video on demand of the community night stream, you need to. There's 6 battles. Some of them were very good, lots of fun. We had a special rule set for it. It was a really good time, and someone has posted a comment in it that has all of them time-stamped, so it's very easy to watch without having to watch all the in-between time that happens in a stream. So highly recommend you all go watch that if you haven't. It was fantastic. We had 12 people from my Discord community and viewers who participated in a bunch of battles. It was great. Also, if you haven't, and at the end of this video, if you enjoy it, hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 250K. We're going to have a big celebration. Thank you all for the support. Let's jump into this one. This is going to be an Empire versus Chaos. Very kind of classic matchup. Let me show you all what's going on here. Now, the Empire player is DahvPlays. He was actually one of the folks who was in that stream I just mentioned and had a really good battle in it. So here he has used an Arch Lector. Something you don't see a whole lot of. Well, what is the Arch Lector? What's he good for? What kind of use do you get out of him? Well, the Arch Lector is kind of like a way to give the Empire a very limited area WA, almost, with some damage resistance. So he has a couple abilities that are very important. The Grand Shield of Faith is going to last for 50 seconds. It's very nice. And then this effect is the Battle Prayer. So everybody in a 40-meter radius picks up 22% damage resistance. So that's almost a quarter of whatever damage coming in. They just ignore it. That's a big deal, especially over 50 seconds. If you use it at the right time when an enemy is outputting the most damage, you can negate some of that damage. Now, the other one here is the Grand Hammer of Sigmar. The Grand Hammer of Sigmar gives 26 melee attack to every ally within 40 meters. So this is where the Arch Lector needs to be in the right place at the right time to use these abilities. So he can basically help your state troops attack better. He can give them better defense. He could help demigryphs go cut through a unit easier. It just kind of depends. You have to know when and where to use him, and that's what his value is. Now, he is not going to be super strong in melee. He's going to need some protection, and so in this case, you can see he's running with the Royal Altdorf Griffites. His armor is, it's not bad. I mean, it's not bad at 95. I can't remember if he's not shielded. So no shield, be a little bit vulnerable to missiles, though he probably has, some innate missile resistance at 15% to kind of make up for it. So it's like having a very crappy shield. And then if you look at the hit points, nothing special, right? Nothing special in weapon strength. He is a support lord. That's how he has to be used. And I really like how he's paired up here in a couple of ways. One, he's paired up with a Witch Hunter. The accusation for the Witch Hunter is no longer a direct damage spell. It debuffs an enemy's melee defense, armor, and missile resistance. So he can help make targets more vulnerable to others as they're attacking. So the Witch Hunter has armor-piercing damage that's really good against single entity models or large monsters, and he can be useful for that. Just another leadership unit to keep around. And then the Light Wizard here, again, really like the Light Wizard pick. Why do I like the Light Wizard pick? Well, you think about the Arch Lector. He's a support unit that buffs up the leadership and the attack, damage resistance of everything around him, right? Well, when you bring the Light Wizard, you can go a few ways with it. The Lore of Light is actually a very good lore of magic in the game, and unfortunately kind of goes underused by a lot of folks sometimes, not always. So he has the Net of Amantok and Barona's Time Warp. Now, Barona's Time Warp is one of those ones that, again, is lost on a lot of people. This is a very good spell. It gives an extra 24% speed and melee attack to everything within 50 or 40 meters, and it's a pretty good radius. And again, what if you tag that on top of, for instance, the Grand Hammer of Sigmar? So now you have an extra 52 melee attack to everything that's in that range, or you use them separately so the different areas can have more attack. It's a 50-second duration. It's absolutely amazing. So it's a great spell to use and definitely worth your time. I actually wanted to pull it up here real quick and hit this Barona's Time Warp. It has an increased effect area of 55 meters if you overcast it. So if there was some scenario where you felt like that was necessary, it does cost 15 Wind of Magic though. Probably better to use it here. But just wanted to show you all that. But I mean, look at Lore of Light. Banishment is totally great for blob busting. It's a pretty expensive spell. It's better when it's bound, but it can blob bust the crap out of stuff. Net of Amantok, obviously very effective at stopping key units, so a great spell to bring. Light of Battle, probably one of the least effective spells in the lore of Light. Makes something unbreakable. Could be handy, but not probably what you're going to see. Shem's Burning Gaze has its uses. You probably won't see this one on the battlefield real often, but there are occasions where it could be useful. Fa's Protection is a very good one, and at only 5 winds of magic, you get 22 seconds of protection. If you overcast it, it gives it an effect area, and 30 armor and 27 melee defense is a lot. You can negate a lot of damage with this, so good spells. Anyway, that covers the Empire army. Let's go take a look at the Chaos army immediately when this battle starts. The 3 Pistoliers, I didn't actually cover all of the Empire army, but we will. The 3 Pistoliers are up front. The DahvPlays loves him some Empire Missile Cavalry. And you can see here, there's a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Shadows on a Manticore, which means kind of mediocre armor and no shield. However, there are some Poison Warhounds, and the use of Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma let this unit get caught. But then the Manticore sees Sterlin's Revenge, which is an armor-piercing Free Company militia in the woods, decides to dive bomb, but this allows the Arch-Lector and the Royal Altdorf Griffites to get over here, and very early, the Chaos player has made a big mistake. Gets netted. Lore of Light, folks. Lore of Light. So, this is why it's good. See how DahvPlays is able to gain control of this entire sector of the battlefield, and the Sorcerer Lord is in big trouble. The Dragon Ogres and the Chaos Warriors with Halberds kind of pull back because they are going to be a little bit outmatched over here right now. So, all the Chaos player can do is just hope that this Sorcerer Lord doesn't end up dead or off of the map entirely. So very, very nice start for DahvPlays with the use of the Arch-Lector. You can see there that he had used both of his abilities to help crunch that Sorcerer Lord as quickly as possible, trying to go for the knockout blow. Now, Chaos, if you look at the troops that are coming up here, there's going to be some Warriors with Halberds, regular Warriors. Chaos Warriors have a fantastic shield. They have huge armor, and they are extremely good against anything with low armor. So like these Chaos Warriors will chop the crap out of anything that can't dish out armor-piercing damage in return, especially like these swordsmen. So Chaos is stacked over here. Though Dav does do a very good job of putting a lot of damage on that giant. We can hear another net go off, and this time it's the Dragon Ogres. So you can see how he's trying to control key units. He got the Sorcerer Lord, now he's got the Dragon Ogres pinned down. I can tell he wants to shoot at them with the Pistoliers, but right now their path is blocked by the Arch-Lector. It's allowing him to move in some Spearmen and get a lot of damage done. His Witch Hunter unfortunately gets caught up in a fight with Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and they are absolutely crushing this Witch Hunter. He needs a lot of help. There are some great swords headed in. There were 2 great swords on the other flank, just state troops on this flank, along with 3 different handgun units, one of which was the Silver Bullets. And Chaos does excel with light cavalry, and you can see that the handguns here for the Empire are pretty well getting dealt with. Now, fortunately, they did cause a lot of damage to this giant. And you can see the giant has had a chevron upgrade because it's probably to try and keep his leadership up. Giants have pretty poor leadership. It's one of the downsides to them, other than just being a huge target, which they are that as well. Now, the Royal Altdorf Griffites and the Arch-Lector tried to turn around this fight before it was too late, but again, look at that, 51 kills on the Chaos Warriors. They just crushed that swordsman, and the only damage they took was from the rear charge of that Altdorf Griffite. They really didn't take any damage otherwise. These Chaos Warriors did not get a charge on the Greatswords, so the Greatswords will trade very nicely with them. The Chaos Sorcerer is back, and he does put a pretty good Penumbral Pendulum down on these units. But that Sorcerer Lord is going to have to keep his distance. He's very weak, and there are plenty of Pistoliers still roaming the battlefield. You can see that this Chaos Warrior with Halberd actually got shot up by them too. They aren't great against armor, but when you don't have a shield and you're getting shot in the back, it's not going to be good. But look at this. Chaos doing what Chaos does well. They have crushed the Empire with their armored infantry, light cavalry, and their monster here. The Empire struggles in this regard against Chaos. It's hard for them to match up head-to-head with them because Chaos Infantry is just pound for pound better in almost every respect. But the Empire also has a lot of specialty units. That's what makes... The Empire is that one faction who's pretty good at everything, but not really good at any one thing. And if you were going to say they were really good at any one thing, it's probably just artillery. I mean, the Empire has really good artillery choices. I would, if I was, and I would say two things then, just to be fair. Magic. They have access to a lot of different lores of magic. So if I was going to say the Empire is really good, or decent at most things, and really good at a couple of things, then it would be those two things. Otherwise, their infantry is a lot weaker than most. Great swords are not fantastic for their price. They're not bad if they get into the right situations, but they're vulnerable to missile fire. They're not quite as strong as Chaos Warriors with great weapons, just, you know, in a pound-for-pound fight, and a lot of the other elite tier infantry in the game. But to say that they wouldn't be useful is also wrong. Again, it depends on the situation and how you use them. Look here, Barona's Time Warp. Now, these great swords are going to have a lot of attack, and you can see the kill count rising there as they fight these heavily armored Chaos Warriors because they're landing hits a lot more often. And then you've also got the Arch-Lector over here, supporting leadership. So now you'll see the great swords get a pretty solid performance. Look at that, they've picked up 10 or 12 kills just in the short time we've been watching. And that's against some very tough units here. So, again, pound for pound, maybe not as good as the others, but this is why you bring an Arch-Lector. This is why you bring a Light Wizard, for these very reasons. This has to be your intent, and then you have to use it properly. Light Wizard was getting chunked here by these regrouped Dragon Ogres, but the Royal Altdorf Griffites will get in there and make short work of them. I like the combination of the Griffites. It's good protection for the relatively squishy leadership that the Empire has in this battle. And they combine nicely, as a lot of times you can lure a player into a bad fight with Pistoliers. Pistoliers in and of themselves aren't usually absolutely devastating, but I mean, look at this. Maybe they had chevrons before the fight. I'd have to go back and look. That one's got a chevron, that one has two. Again, I'd have to go check to be sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if they picked up that chevron in the battle with the amount of damage that they've caused. So the Empire managed to turn this around after having completely lost their left flank, and it's because they had the right units over on the right flank, and the Chaos player took too much damage early with his Lord. And it's a mistake that any of us could make, right? The battle starts, you get shot by Pistoliers, you're like, bullcrap, you drop a Mystifying Miasma, I'm going to chase them with my Warhounds, I'll take care of these Pistoliers. And then all of a sudden you're ambushed by Stirland's Revenge, Altdorf Griffites, and an Arch-Lector. Yeah. I mean, it can happen. You got to be careful of those, because if someone is using, and I love the name for DahvPlays up here, Bactrian Hillman. What a name. Anyway, well, that's reminiscent of some good old Rome too. Yeah, so that's kind of the way that you play the Arch-Lector and the Light Wizard, and this was a good demonstration from DahvPlays. No, it wasn't perfect. His Witch Hunter got chewed up in a fight and probably didn't meet his full potential, but I think he did good work with the Light Wizard overall, good work with the Arch-Lector, and a very nice combination with the Royal Altdorf Griffites. You do need a couple of hard-hitting infantry versus Chaos, so the inclusion of Great Swords I think was quite intelligent, and then there's just a lot of armor piercing. Handguns, silver bullets, Stirland's Revenge. Gotta have something to chop through the armor and the monsters. You just do. You're gonna have to have something. And the Pistoliers, very nice bait. It can keep the Chaos Light Cavalry busy, hopefully keeping them away from handguns, right? Or, in this case, you saw how it was perfect bait to lure in the Sorcerer Lord and take care of him. So I appreciate Totentans here and DahvPlays for putting together a fun battle. I love me some Chaos versus Empire too. It's a faction that I would pick. I think they're pretty good against the Empire in the right scenarios. Chaos is a little more limited, but they have some advantages over the Empire that can make them a very annoying faction to deal with as the Empire. So I think well played by both. Yep, it didn't work out this time for Totentans, but you know, it doesn't every time, and that's part of the fun of these battles. Hey, I appreciate Dahv sending this in. You guys need to go check out his channel. I will try to link to it. I do sometimes forget, but he'll probably have a comment or something there too. He hangs around in the Discord and stuff too. You can find him there. If you join the Discord, there's a link to it in the description. That one is there because I know it's always there. I mean to put these links in, but I just sometimes forget it. I guess I'm a forgetful man. Anyway, he's got a good channel. He makes good content, and he's a good multiplayer player in the game. And so it's fun to watch him if you want to go see some extra content there. Anyway, I appreciate him sending that in. It is fun to see something different every now and then. If you all enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click the bell so you get notified. I am going to, again, this next week, start giving out some Steam gift cards to those people who are notified, so you might want to start following that. My best guess is probably like Monday or Tuesday for the first one, and then probably another one on Thursday or Friday. you got to be in the video quick if you want to win one, so keep an eye out for it. The way I do that is I upload the video, and then right when I release it, it'll release, you should get the notification, and then I have to spend a few seconds going on to the video and leaving a comment with the code, the Steam Wallet code. So, you know, it'll be anywhere within 1 to 2 minutes after I release the video that it pops up. So if you get there even quicker than that, you might want to refresh a few times and look for it. Again, probably Monday or Tuesday, and again on Thursday and Friday of this next week. Keep an eye out for it. Hopefully you all enjoyed this one, and I would like to see you again next time as some more Total War Warhammer 2 battles.